You're now listening to All Hogs Sports, covering all Arkansas Razorback sports, such as football, basketball, baseball, and much more. Now, here's your host for today's show, Sam Stimson.
Jalen Williams. Let's talk about the stud sophomore for a second before I get into recapping this Tennessee game and then previewing Arkansas's next game against Florida today. Williams had 13 points, 16 rebounds, and 3 or more charges drawn. Not only is he playing at the level of a top NBA pick, he is providing that level on the court and taking Arkansas's team to a super high level. He played 40 minutes in this game versus Tennessee, and even his defense has been incredible. 1 steal, 1 block. His defense, though, has been really good this season, guarding especially a lot of shooters, and so it's not always working the high post. Now, this game, Arkansas won 58-48. It was a very defensive-minded game, as the score suggests. Arkansas held Tennessee to a 27.1 true shooting percentage off the floor, and then 16.7% from 3. It was really huge for Arkansas to limit some of Tennessee's best players, such as Josiah Jordan-James, who was 4 for 13 from the floor. Their leading scorer, Vescovi, was 2 for 13, 1 for 9 from 3. He only had 7 points, 3 turnovers in that one. Arkansas also did a really nice job of limiting turnovers. We only had 10 in a game that was pretty low scoring. The main thing, though, was Arkansas's defense has proved time and time again, especially through this time where Arkansas has only lost 1 game in the last 11, that being a 1-point loss at Alabama, that Arkansas's defense can play them into games. The offensive ability and threat, it kind of is what it is. I mean, Arkansas is going to have J.D. Note and his shooting, and then you're going to have Williams, and then you're going to have Amude too. Amude struggled in this one, 2 for 12, but he was able to play 39 minutes because of his defense. If you play defense, you're going to play a good amount of minutes, even if you're struggling on offense a little bit. But Amude was really good on defense, and he's been that way this season. Same thing with DC Toney. I know Toney struggled a little bit, especially with finishing around the hoop and such, but he was better in this one from defense as well. I mean, both of those guys played fantastic defense all game. The whole team played really smart defense. Steve Davis getting some good minutes in. He was one of Arkansas's better shooters for 3, 2 for 3 in this one. And then Chris Likes also got some minutes in. He had 18 minutes and 4 turnovers, which is a little concerning, but he also had 8 points in that one where a lot of guys were struggling to score. J.D. Note putting up 13 points. Williams with 13. Both of those guys tied for leaders in that category. Assist was Likes with 2, Williams with 2, and then rebounds. Toney put up 10, and then Williams had 16. Arkansas got out-rebounded by 3. They had 43 rebounds, Tennessee having 46. Such a high number, though, because there was a lot of missed shots. Arkansas, though, played really smart with J.D. Note in foul trouble. He only played 24 minutes and fouled out of this game. Arkansas looked really lost at Alabama without J.D. Note, so it was nice to see guys like Likes, Davis, being able to step up in that role off the bench when he had foul trouble there. But yeah, Arkansas just can't be having foul trouble, especially with Williams. Williams takes a lot of blocks, charges, and I know a lot of people from opposing fan bases will complain about that. I mean, you look at Arkansas's games, and after they beat or play a team, the fans of the other team, like on social media and stuff, will nonstop like complaining about Williams or like saying something about Williams drawing a charge in a game where they're playing a different team because he's the best at it. A lot of 50-50 calls are going to go his way because he's got like 40-plus charges. That's just how it is in sports. And sure, sometimes there's bad block charge calls, but let's not act like these SEC officials are perfect in every single thing else they're doing out there on the court. I would say the majority of Williams' charges are correct, and he's able to get that contact and embrace it. He's a really tough guy. I mean, you don't put up 13 points, 16 rebounds, and then low turnovers as well, 2 assists, and then, be soft, or somebody would say, because he's not playing defense. I mean, Williams plays defense and forces turnovers on his charges as well. He's been really good this season and had good amount of offensive freedom as well working through his game. This win for Arkansas, though, was really huge in terms of seeding and such. Beating Auburn at home was nice, but, you look at Arkansas's resume then, and you had the road LSU win, which was, really good at the time, but LSU was kind of, shaken off into a lower seed, exited the top 25 since. Still a road win, though, top 25 at the time. Tennessee in the, top 16 seeding that the NCAA committee selected and released on Saturday was number 11. Arkansas taking down a team like that puts them in good position. Arkansas is pretty solid on that 5-seed line right now. They have to, play that level of defense. I mean, you look at the last 10 minutes of the game, Arkansas only allowed Tennessee to score 9 minutes in the last 10 minutes of the second half. They went on a little mini run themselves, scoring 18 in the last 10 minutes. Like I said, Arkansas's got to play high defensive intensity, which they are very much used to, and then also close that game strong, which they did. Now, for Arkansas to jump into that 4-seed line, because 5-12s have a lot of upset, but then 4-13 and such, you're obviously playing less team. Arkansas wants to hop to that line there, but the main thing for Arkansas, 4 games left on the season. Right now, Ken Pom has Arkansas winning 2 of them. The Arkansas sitting at 21-6 wins, pretty much guaranteed a tournament berth. Looking at the number 3rd seed in the SEC tournament right now, and what an incredible turnaround from Eric Musselman. I mean, a lot of people didn't think he could do it, and I even had my doubts. I mean, the team really looked completely lost. Note turned into that point guard. Amude's finally been red hot on offense. Tony's been playing good defense. Williams has turned into an NBA scoring center. And, I try not to preview next season too much when we're talking about a season here where Arkansas is a 5 or better seed, 3 seed in the SEC tournament here. But next year, if Williams comes back and all those 5 stars come here, Smith, Walsh, and there's even a chance Anthony Black shows up. He was on an unofficial visit for this game, which was huge. I mean, the atmosphere at Bud Walton is incredible. But, next year's team could be really special. But anyway, looking back at this game, Bud Walton Arena, that is one of the toughest places to play in the nation. What Arkansas has done as a fan base, to get, the color coordination and just getting loud, it's the key moments has just really been effective. And that defense, Arkansas is going to win a lot of games with it. Now, tonight, Arkansas travels to Gainesville to face the Florida Gators at 6 p.m. on ESPN2. Now, Arkansas does play 9 road games in the SEC, and one of the toughest ones for Arkansas every year seems to be Gainesville. The last time Arkansas won at Gainesville was 1995. 27 years ago was the last time Arkansas won a basketball game at Florida. That's a really tough number and a streak that Arkansas is looking to break tonight. The main thing for Arkansas, though, is they've got to play that high level of defense that they've brought all season. Main thing for Arkansas, additionally, is to stay out of foul trouble. You can't have your top guys like J.D. Note, Devo, Amude, Williams getting in foul trouble when you need them to pull off a tough road victory. However, looking at this Florida team, Florida is pretty similar to Arkansas in terms of their being like a defensive better team. Their offense is not that good, though. They do not shoot the 3 that well, 317th in the nation in that percentage, and they also don't force many turnovers or offensive rebound that well. Some other things looking at their average stats and such. They do struggle, though, on offense with some tempo. They play a pretty slow type of game, which definitely favors the home team in certain situations. Again, they have been pretty inconsistent this year. They lost to Kentucky and Texas A&M on the road here, and then they beat the Auburn team, number 2 in the nation. So they went on a 4-game winning streak, beating Oklahoma State at home, Missouri, Ole Miss, Georgia, lost to Kentucky, lost to A&M. They've been pretty up and down this season, and that's why they're a really hungry team. Being in the Force 4 out here within the last week of February, teams want to get out of that bubble. The bubble's not a spot that they want to be at. Now, part of the reason that Florida did go on a lot of losing streak is their center, Colin Castleton. He did not play for a very long time due to injury, but he's been playing the last 4 games and you look at those, the splits, 19 points, 15 points, 18 points, 13 points, 17 points. He hasn't been held to a single-digit game since they played Maryland on December 12th, and that was his lowest of the season, 9. So Arkansas is definitely going to have to focus in on Castleton. Castleton is he's a 6'11", 231 senior. Last season, he went up against Arkansas, and he put up 13 points. That was his first game back, I think, after missing some time due to the COVID protocol and such. But he did end up playing that game off the bench. He will play the majority of time at center, though. Some other guys to look out is Myron Jones, the shooting guard. Arkansas did recruit him last year out of the transfer portal. He's averaging 9.2 points per game, shooting 37.1% off the floor. Castleton is shooting 54.5%. He doesn't shoot any threes, though. He mainly just works the inside. Tyree Appleby, a Jacksonville, Arkansas native, he averages 10.7 points per game as the leading point guard on this team, 3.7 assists per game. And then also Fleming Jr. for Florida is one of their better guards, too, at 10.1 points per game and 4.1 assists per game. After Castleton, the rebounds for Florida really drop off. They only average a rebounding total of 33.9 per game, so Arkansas is going to have to play those boards to their advantage and use what they've been able to do this season on that side of out-rebounding teams and winning games. Overall, though, the main thing for Arkansas against Florida here is they've got to play that high-level defensive intensity because it's tough to travel and play at Florida, obviously. But one thing that can travel is defense. Defensive and rebounding, it's a bit of an effort stat too, but both of those things travel. Shooting can also struggle on the road, obviously, but Myron just shot 30% at home and ended up winning a game by 10 points against a top 16 team in the nation. Arkansas has shown that they can win games without scoring a high amount. But Castleton will be used a ton for Florida, so if Arkansas can use Jalen Williams around the post in his defense, drawing charges and things like that, that'll be huge for Arkansas to get the win here. Now on the offensive side for Arkansas, obviously J.D. Note, Amude, and Tony. Something with Amude, though, is his road splits have been incredible this season. If you look at his away games this season, he's played 9 on the road, averaging 14.2 points per game. That's 3.1 more than his average number. Road game versus Mizzou, 23 points. At Alabama, he had 19 points. At Georgia, he put up 31 points. So those are his last 3 road games, and he's been pretty good of bringing that high level of scoring and such. Their 3-level scoring that he advertised out of the transfer portal. He's been exceptional on road games this season. So he's second leading scorer for Arkansas. Obviously, J.D. Note, 18.5 points per game. He has to get his points in this one, play his style of defense too. And then you'll have Tony Williams off the bench. You'll expect to see Likes, Davis, and Kamani Johnson. May see a little bit of Robinson, we'll have to see, but all of those 3 guys coming off the bench have been valuable assets for Arkansas this year because they've been some foul trouble here and there with Williams, Note. Main thing for Arkansas, though, play that level of defense, avoid foul trouble, and you can walk out with a win out of Gainesville. Now, I've got Arkansas winning their first game in Gainesville since 1995. Hogs win this one 66-64. Main thing for Arkansas here is Williams. I think his level of play has been exceptional. I expect him to bring that same thing at the road in Florida. His rebounding, shooting, and everything, I expect him to have a nice game. Playing against Colin Castleton will be very important to limit him. Arkansas also has some talented guards like Devo Davis playing some defense on Appleby. Last season will be applied. Same thing here. Amude, Tony playing on Fleming, Myron Jones, guys like that. McKissick additionally. I think Arkansas has that defense. I mean, they've got a top 15 defense in the nation, no doubt. They can bring that defensive intensity, which often travels on the road. They'll be able to get this win here. I think the main thing for Arkansas, though, is, 2 out of 3 of Amude, Williams, and Note have to have an efficient night and stay out of foul trouble. If 2 out of 3 of those guys can perform at their highest levels or, better than average, Arkansas can get a win here.